So dear students, now we will try to understand how we can declare and initialize our array in the very beginning, where we just declare the array. We are going to initialize the array at that location. In the previous video we have just declared an array and initialized our array in this for loop, but now we are not going to use any loop to declare to initialize the array. Rather, we will be using initializing our array over here. So for that, let's first of all stop the simulation and let's save this. For that, what we are going to do, after the we specify the name and the data type of the array, we will write an equal to sign. Then in these flower brackets or curly braces, we will specify the value of the array on each location. Like we want to write initialize the value at 0 index to 32, then we want to add 127, and let's say 64, then we want 18, then we want 95, then we want 14, let's say, then we have 90, then we can add 70, then we can add 60, then we can have 37. So hopefully these are total of 10 values: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So in this way we have not only even declared and initialized. So one thing more to note over here is that each location has a different value. So each location is initialized with a different value over here in our current scenario. So let's say if I want to access value of this variable, let's say let's print on this serial monitor so that we can understand the concept. So I can write our serial print. So in that, if you want to fetch or read the value at an index of the location, what we will do, that we will write n, then in the square brackets we will specify the index. Let's say if I specify as 0 index, I want the value that is at 0 index. So let's just save this, let's run the simulation. There is some error, so let's close this. So fully declared. Let's run this again. Errors are very good. So let's say what it say: declared and initialized error during build. So yes, you can see that over here I have just unintentionally placed a dot, what it should be a comma. So let's save this, let's run again. So you can see that we have the value 32. 32 is at index of location 0. Let's say if you want to check the index location of 5, so it will be 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. At 5th index it's 14, so I am going to write over here 5. Let's save this, let's run. Now you can see that it will print 14 because at the 5th location, 5th index, it's the value 14 that is placed in the array. So let's stop the simulation. Another way to check the values of this array, you can do it by using similarly for loop. And in the for loop you can use the initialization of the for loop, like int I is equal to 0. Then we will specify the loop till that the value of I will reach, and then it will stop executing. So we are going to run this for 10, and then we have I plus plus increment, and then in the curly braces we will write the block of code. So let's say what we will do. First of all, I just want to have the written over here like the value at, or you can say that index number you can write over here index number, and after that you over here I have done a mistake, so I will write serial dot print, and then it will print first the string index number, then after that it will serial dot print, we are going to print the value of I, that is actually the index of that array, and then we want the actual value that is stored in an array. So first of all, let's just serial dot print line, and then over here you can say value. So after value we want to print line, and over here actually we are going to print n and then I, and let's also use the print function. At the end we will like this. So let's just save this. So what I'm going to trying to do is that first on the serial monitor we will see the index number, then I is actually the index number that is going to be used for accessing or fetching the value from the array, and then over here what the I value will come over here, and the value at that particular number of the I or the index of the array will be printed on the screen. So let's just run the simulation, let's see what happens. So over here you can see that index number at 0 we have value of 32, at index number 1 we have value 27. Similarly on different index value we have printed that the value against that particular index. So in this way you can even fetch the value of the array which we have just initialized in the very start. We have not only initialized but also declared that array. Let's say if you want to change the content of the array, for that let me do it again. Let's say if you want to change the content or update again, use the for loop. In the for loop, let's say I am going to use I is equal to 0, then we have to run this for, let's say I am not going to change the entire array. Okay, let's do it. Let's write over here that it should run for it should give a 10 iterations, then it should have an incrementing. So over here let's say if I want to change the content of the array, so for that what I'm going to do, I'm going to write the name of the array, then I am going to specify the I means that the index of that array, and then I am going to change all these value to, let's say 100. Oh sorry, this will be like this is equal to then 100, then we are going to write a semicolon. So what will happen that first of all the original arrays will be printed, then our content of the array will be changed, and it will be 100 on each location. So let's just copy this piece of code and paste this after this loop. So as you know that the microcontroller runs the code in a sequence way, like it will first declare this the array, then it will go into void setup, it will do this begin the 9600 with the 9600 baud rate serial communication, then first of all it will run this loop, then it will run this loop, then again this loop. So let's run and let's see if our values are updated. So over here you can see that when this loop is executed, the original values are shown that we have just declared in our in the very start of the code. After this loop is executed, on each index we now can see that there is a value 100, and the display starting from over here, from this line is actually the result of this loop. So in this way you can initialize, you can even initialize the values in the loop, values of the array in a loop. You can even print all the values of the array that we have just initialized. So hopefully you have understood how you can fetch the values of the array, and how you can update the values of the array, and how you can print those values in the serial monitor.